Yes, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Got another scout report for you, and this time we're going to be talking about Randal Kolo Muani. Despite the positives that we saw this season at United, or I guess last season, because it's over now, one thing that we know is we need more quality and we need more depth. And that can be said all over the pitch, but I think it can be said more in one area than the others, and that is the number 9 spot. We've been linked with Harry Kane. There's some strong links, it seems, with Hojlund. There's been Oshimen, although that's cooled a little bit lately. And there are, in those three very, very good options that I think would be worth considering. But there is another name floating about European football right now that could be a genuinely really good option for Manchester United, and that's Muani. He is coming off an unreal statistical season. He is young, he scores goals, he gets assists, he's got a lot to his game. And we're going to have a look at him to see maybe why United have been reported to have a lot of interest in him. So if we look at his background then, he was born in Bondy in France in 98. He began his footballing career at FC Nantes and back in 2018 where he made his first appearance in Ligue 1. Despite a loan spell at US Boulogne, which is in the third tier of French football, in 2019 and 20, he remained at Nantes up until last season where he then signed for Eintracht Frankfurt. In his final season at Nantes, he really impressed. Back then, 23 years of age, he got 12 goals and 5 assists in Ligue 1, which was better than his previous season, where he got 9 goals and 8 assists. Great numbers for a really young lad. And you got, well, all right, Ligue 1, how many is Mbappe getting? All right, Mbappe plays for PSG. How many would he score playing for Nantes? And they finished mid-table, and last year just stayed up the year before. This season in Bundesliga, he has taken his game to another level. And I do think there's correctly some concerns about Bundesliga and Ligue 1 and all the rest of that sort of stuff. But this season, I think it's very worth looking at. 23 goals and 17 assists in 46 games. So that is 40 goal contributions in 46 games. In the Bundesliga, that was 15 goals and 14 assists in just 32 games. And these are great numbers when you consider that's his first season in a new league and in a team that does not fly high, really. Why do I think United should sign him? Well, goals and assists, realistically, is what you're signing a number 9 for, and he's got impressive numbers in those. But what I think is impressive in each of his last 3 seasons is he doesn't just score goals, he always assists. He's always had really strong assist numbers. And yes, United need a striker, and secondary to that would be a striker that can bring in assists. But it's a player that's going to bring out the best in the rest of the forward line and make United's unit up front difficult to handle. And Muani can clearly do both. Whether he's in an attacking position, he seems to know exactly what the right thing to do is, whether that's to shoot or whether that's to pass. His link-up play is absolutely sensational. And you need another number 9 that's going to get the underperforming wingers into more attacking situations. And maybe the lack of number 9 this season is why both Sancho and Anthony probably struggled a little bit. Players that maybe like to bring it to feet. Having someone that they can play with as a number 9 that's going to operate in between the lines might favour them a little bit. And there are lots to Muani's game. Yes, he's got goals, and goals for strikers is the first thing that you want to look at. It is the headline thing that you want to look at. But there's more to him than that. He's got plenty of 1v1s. He's got goals where he's actually toyed with the defender. He's got long-range goals. He's got tap-ins. He's got a couple of headers in there as well. And like I said, he can score, but he can also assist. And that's the sort of thing that you want from a modern-day striker, especially in a Ten Hag system. He ranks in the top 3% of European strikers for assists and a top 14% for shot-creating actions, meaning he's making things happen for himself. And he is a fantastic dribbler of the ball. He ranks in the top 6% of European strikers for progressive carries, that's 3 per 90, and successful take-ons, 2.2 per 90. This is a player that's going to do stuff when he gets on the ball. And he's top. He's got good physical presence. He's 6'2", and his age gives him wiggle room. It's not like Haaland, 22 years of age, been scoring for seasons and seasons already, but still young. He's played in Germany. He's played in France. He's shown that he can adapt to different styles of football. Do you think he can adapt to the Premier League? He is an option that's a lot younger than Kane, and he's going to cost a bit of money. but it won't be Kane, Oshimen, or Goncalo Ramos sort of numbers. And we know what the deal is with Daniel Levy. If you want to try getting Harry Kane out there for any sort of sensible money, even if I think United might be the only option that's on the table to him, it still might be difficult for us to do. With 4 years left on his deal, Frankfurt have absolutely got the bargaining power in this. He's still relatively unknown in contrast to the rest of the names that United have been linked with. Manchester United might need a cheaper option. You know, they might want someone that's not necessarily the superstar striker. He might cost somewhere in the region of 50, 60, maybe £70 million. And if it's £70 million, he then becomes less attractive to me. As has been the case with several of the players that I've done scout reports on this season, I think the right price is as important as the right player, because you'll take someone on a free because, well, they're free. But if someone's going to cost you world-class player money, they probably should be a tad more proven. He's not stupidly young. He's probably a little bit more mature. It's the first time he's got 20-plus goals in a season, and he's 24 years of age, and he hasn't even got to England yet. The price is spendy. You might be more tempted to just go get Harry Kane or Oshimen and pay a bit of extras on top of that. Two players that you know would come and undoubtedly score, because admittedly there is a bit of a question mark over whether Muani could do it in the Premier League. And he's even up for sale. If you ask sporting director of Eintracht Frankfurt, Markus Krosch, he says, "We will not sell Kolo Muani." Said that in January. So they would sell him, but they would sell him at a fee which might make it unreasonable for Manchester United to do so. And like we said, he is a little bit unproven. 21 goals, 8 assists in 2 seasons at Nantes before moving to Frankfurt. It really is his only true stellar season in European football. And it is only his second season where he scored more than 10 goals in all competitions. Do United need a number 9 that's more guaranteed to fire us to success? Do you need maybe a second choice or something different? Is it too much risk in this one? And he isn't a superstar. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Because I think sometimes with a superstar, you're buying for the shirt sales. And I'd rather buy for the player that's going to fit the system that we're trying to achieve the most. Call me old-fashioned. He is a great player. He's putting up great numbers. But when you talk about the elite strikers in European football, his name's not on that list. Not yet. I mean, it could be on that list. If he joined Manchester United and continued doing that, his name gets on that list. But he hasn't yet joined the elite goal-scoring sort of club. Oshimen and Kane. Yeah, Howland. These are the best strikers in world football, and they would elevate United immediately. No questions asked. It's the viability of getting those out of their current clubs. And is Muani the sort of, with this weird no man's land, as he ain't cheap. So he's not that cheap sort of, he's worth the risk because he's cheap. And he ain't quite world class yet, even though he could be. He sort of exists in this little bit, could be world class. It's a hell of a lot of money for someone that only could be world class. And it's a hell of a gamble. No, you wouldn't be saving money by going for him, put it that way. Oshimen and Kane might not be achievable on the transfer market, even if they would guarantee the goals. So it's worth looking into different options. I think Muani sort of exists in this sort of lonely little desert island that only he's on. In terms of strikers that you go, yeah, there's a hell of a lot to like about him. But that price, not really feeling that price. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because I think this kid is an absolute conundrum. I think there's a very, very strong chance he could go on to be world class, and he could do it in a United shirt, and he could join the elite level of goal scorers if he came to Manchester United and surrounded by the attacking talent that we've got. But it's a bit of a gamble. Let me know in the comments. See you in the next one. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.